Hey y'all, welcome to Moments with Brittany. Thank you all for checking out my channel. If you are a returner, I truly appreciate you for continuing to watch me and supporting me. And if you are a newbie, yay, thank you for watching my channel for the first time. I hope you truly enjoy my video. So before I dive into my topic like I normally do, there are three things. Three things. The first, of course, you got to subscribe. Yes, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And the second, make sure you hit that bell, ding, 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 so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. And lastly, you guys already know, yes, make sure you share my videos. Sharing is caring. Why? Because your mother taught you very well. Your younger sibling taught you very well. And matter of fact, your grandmother taught you very well. So make sure you share my videos. Sharing is caring. So like always, I dive straight into the topic. So y'all, I'm so excited about this topic. All right. So don't you all know how in life, right, as humans, we have many different emotions. Some emotions are, you know, we experience being happy, excited, fearful, anger, all these different emotions that we normally feel as humans, which we are supposed to feel because we are humans. If we didn't have emotions, we wouldn't necessarily be humans. So the thing about emotions, though, is that emotions changes from minute to minute, day by day, hour by hour. Sometimes it may last for a year or so, or years. But what the point is that emotions change. How you feel about something change. What you may feel today about yourself may change from how you feel about yourself tomorrow. Emotions change constantly. So the thing about emotions is because emotions changes constantly, oftentimes we make decisions based off of temporary emotions. And temporary emotions are feelings that a person feels that is short term and does not last for a longevity period of time or a long span of time. So oftentimes, you guys, we make decisions off of temporary emotions. Why? I don't understand. Sometimes I do understand. Sometimes I don't understand. However, though, those decisions that we do make off of temporary emotions, of course, every decision that we make has a consequence, whether it's a bad consequence or whether it's a good consequence. But the question is it worth making a decision off of a temporary emotion? That is the question. Is it worth making a decision off of temporary emotions? And let me give you a few examples of how we act or react to or make decisions off of temporary emotions. So for an example, our spouse or our significant other did something to you. Your spouse may have done something to you, whether it's probably like called you 300 times or probably lied to you or whatever, right? So your temporary emotion would be like, oh my God, I'm irritated, or I'm angry, or I'm frustrated, or I'm sad, or I'm pissed, right? So those are the feelings that you feel in that moment. And then based off those feelings, your actions is either to cuss the person out, to go off, to scream, to maybe slash the car or something, or to react negative and just make bad decisions based off temporary emotions. That's how you felt. But then the following day or 2 days later, you still don't feel those emotions. However, your actions has the consequence. And your actions, because of what you did, therefore that has a longevity, right? So whatever action we do, by reacting off of our temporary emotions, that has a longevity consequence. And that consequence could either be good or it can be bad. And longevity consequence could either mean like now you and your significant other are probably arguing way more than, y'all typically would, or trust may be an issue, or now communication may be a problem. But it's usually something. all the time. And to be honest, it's like sometimes we just need to sit still and just take a minute, pause, and then respond. So we won't act off of our temporary emotion. You feel a feeling, you feel the emotion, and then boom, you just act. And that's typically how most people do, right? However, though, in doing that, your reaction to whatever it is that the person has said and or did ends up having a longevity consequence. And that longevity consequence can be good or the longevity consequence can be bad. However, if whatever your significant other did was bad, 9 out of 10, that longevity consequence is going to be bad, right? So it's like, just be mindful as you're talking to people or as you're going throughout your life in general, is to not make actions off of temporary emotions. Really and truly don't. Just think, like, when you are in something, or even if you are in a disagreement with a coworker, or you're in a disagreement with, your mom or your family or something like that, just take a minute to step back, reflect, and then get back to it and handle the situation. Because if not, the consequence that is waiting for us at the end of it may not necessarily be good. So I just charge you with moving forward is to not necessarily act all the time off of your temporary emotions, because that transition, like how you feel at 10 o'clock a.m. is not necessarily how you feel at 5 p.m. That's just how it is, right? Because we are humans. But again, we be making decisions off of temporary emotions. And all we have to do sometimes is just step back. That's it. When somebody make you mad and you want to go off and you want to, let them have it, maybe just step back and don't even say anything. And then when you are in a good headspace, then come back and to address it. Or when your coworker is saying something or your boss is saying something and they irking your whole entire life, like your soul, honey. And you want to be like, that's why I don't want this job right now. Like, I don't want this job right now. Because I can see us saying, because we do that. Like, when your job get on your nerves, sometimes you be like, I'm about to quit or something like that. It's like, no, because you're not about to quit. So why are you going to even say that? But again, we act off of temporary emotions. So just take time to step back, step away, reflect, reboot, and then go back to handle the situation or the circumstances that you are put in or that somebody probably placed you in. So that's what I charge you to do moving forward. And do not make decisions off of temporary emotions. And yes, there are times where, we do make decisions off of temporary emotions, and it could be great decisions. Whether it's, like, for instance, if you are in a church house and like God is talking to you and speaking to you, and telling you, maybe you should tithe a little bit more than what you normally tithe, or, maybe you should put money in the offering, even though this is probably your last $20, but maybe you should probably put it in the offering anyway, because God is going to bless you a little bit more, right? And in that moment, you like, oh my God, like, I don't really know. Your feeling is like I'm excited, but I'm nervous, but I'm fearful, all at the same time. However, God is speaking to you, and that's the Holy Spirit. But but if you're a believer, in the end, you're going to get reaped anyway, or whatever, right? But in the end, that's a good consequence, because God going to end up blessing you way more than you probably already have. So that's the time that, we act off of temporary, emotions. But oftentimes when we are acting off of temporary emotion and we making decisions, typically is when we are in a bad space. And I know sometimes, everybody have different sides to them. Everybody have a good side to them, and everybody have a side to them like, don't mess with me type of side. Everybody have that side. But just making sure when you get to that side, or when you get to that level for yourself, check yourself. And it's okay to check yourself. And honestly, I would rather check myself before somebody try to check me. So let me just check myself. Let me address myself first, before somebody try to check me in or correct me. So that's what I charge you to before moving forward. Just learn how to check yourself and just do a little bit of self-reflection. And just learn how to step back in that moment for real. Because I know sometimes we so quick to be like, let me get you. And it's just like, no, because ultimately at the end of the day, because we are believers, and we are God's children, and because we are on earth as a split image of God, everything that we should do should always choose God anyway. And God's not going to necessarily handle a decision in a negative way or in a negative light. So then therefore, as believers, we shouldn't either. And when we are finding ourselves getting to that place where it's not good, talk to yourself. Talk to yourself. Either talk to yourself, talk to someone who can calm you down, have a conversation with God, have a conversation with yourself, looking in the mirror, read, listen to music, do whatever it is, yoga, meditate, do whatever it is in order for you to come back down to a sounding board, in order for you to come back down to a level head, right? And just make sure that you end up from a level head making clear and sound decisions for you, for yourself, and for your family, whoever else you have to make decisions for. So I'm just charging y'all to don't be acting off of y'all temporary emotions, y'all, because y'all already know, look, you go from hot to cold in 0.5 seconds. So just don't be doing it.